Hello, hello, happy Friday. It's Friday, and it's actually Friday. I usually film before Friday, but I'll tell you why. It's like I had a project that made me mad, and I can't film when I'm mad. I want to film when I'm happy so I can talk happy to you. So I'm going to tell you what made me mad in a moment. I'm going to tell you about this top I made that I talked about last week, the Vivace from Love Notions. But first, someone asked in the comments and said they wanted to see my messy sewing room because I said I clean it up for you guys. And I was just about to make my video. I was just about to clean up, and I thought, okay, I'll show you my messy sewing room. So I'm going to walk you through what it looks like before I clean up for this video. Okay? Someone asked me to show some of the behind the scenes of my project and my sewing room in action. And I'm about to make my Friday video, and the place is a mess. So I'm gonna show it raw and real and kind of walk you through my process for getting ready to make a video. So I went downstairs and I threw the curling iron on and I did a few curls, and I'll try to mess that up. I put on my jewelry. I only wear jewelry when I leave the house. So when I make a video, I have to put on my jewelry, and I'm gonna put on some lipstick. I'll show you where I keep that. I'll walk you through my room and show you that it is a mess sometimes, and some places are almost always a mess. So let's just start at the beginning, and I'm going to walk you through it raw and real. This is my view of my work table and my chair, and this is where I spend most of my sewing time. And it's a mess because I did my project here, and I have these flaps that come up, and a lot of times they are both up to give me room to maneuver. But I was trying to get into the closet, so that had to go down. And this one I don't put up very much. So obviously I've got my chalk, I've got scissors, I've got thread. These are all need to get put away. And these are scraps of paper. This all needs to get put away. A nail file, because you need that sometimes. And then over here, I've got some trim. You'll see in the video that I took that off. This is actually a light that I got when I was doing jewelry, which I really didn't stick with. But the light is amazing for close-up work because you just turn it on and it's so bright that whatever you're working on underneath. And I was doing a lot of seam ripping, so that came in handy. My iPad I edit on, so it is plugged in so that it will be to go, ready to go. These are some pillowcases that are kings, and I wish they were standard, so I set them on my table to make them smaller. I will forget otherwise. And then basically, these are some of my rulers that are hung up. And if the view over here, try not to make you too dizzy. I'm going to start over here. This door, I always try to remember to close when I make the video, because then you see just a pretty backdrop of fabric. And I have some plastic in the corner. I need to straighten up this ironing station, put my hams away, fold up my fabric, turn off my iron, and then my spray bottles, definitely my doTERRA lovely diffuser ready to go, and then decor that's the backdrop. And this cover was not made for this machine, but my granddaughter was sure it would fit. This is where my lipstick is, so I will choose a color, almost always the same one. Straighten up my table. It's a little wonky. I will put away all the tools that are near the sewing machine. There's some threads. There's some things that need to get put away. And then this corner is near my serger. I had to change threads a couple times. This fabric won't fit in my fabric, so it's just sitting there, and that is a pile that is almost always a mess. It's just where I shove things because you can't see that corner for the most part. That's my camera gear. I also shove that in there. And, this area is not seen in videos, so I pretty much don't worry about that when I set up for a video. There's Buster. I moved his bed, so I just put a couple blankets down for him. And then we're into this corner, which again is something you can't see in this video, so I don't pay attention to it today. I won't be cleaning it up. But I have my fabric is a little bit wonky, not too bad. This bucket is polyester that I'm not sure I'm going to use or not. I haven't decided. And then over here are my patterns hanging up. And the pattern I'm working on is right there. It'll get hung up when I make this video. And there's some extra fabric from a project for my granddaughter. My closet needs a little spiffing, but what I'm seeing when I'm sitting is my camera on this handy little pole that my husband made for me, and I have a look extra light because it can get kind of dark. There's nothing in this corner to light up my face, and it's light behind me. So in photography world, I need a light in to fill the face, which is very flattering. So of course I do that. And then my closet is pretty much all the same, but you know, I reach in, grab things sometimes and put things back messy. So it needs to be straightened out. And then we're back to the signboard, which is my long project list, which it's kind of out the window right now. I need to start it over. And then what I'm going to talk about for Friday's sews, this is from last week. So I'll write a new list. iPad holder that I hardly ever use, but it's handy. So that's the mess, man. Oh, I need to sweep the floor and take out the garbage. And oh my gosh, this shelf is totally dusty. Needs to be dusted, but you can't see it, so I'm not going to dust it today. I've got other stuff to do, and while I'm here, I'm going to show you how all my daffodils got knocked down by that rainstorm and snow, rain and snow. Oh, sad. So back to the video. There's the mess. So I think I said most of it. I don't know what I might have missed, but oh my gosh, could be so much worse if I didn't do the reset, because it would pile up, and I'm really good at that. Like I'm a person who just doesn't see it. You know, I don't see the clutter all the time, and so it could be suddenly you look around and you're like, how did it get like this? I have that in my life, so I don't want that in here. And it really needs a spring cleaning, you know, kind of straighten up my fabric, straighten up my closet, all of those things. I'm kind of, once I walked you through it, I started thinking, I want to do that. I want to clean up even more and kind of just get organized for spring. I usually do a fabric swap anyways for spring and see what I have in my winter fabrics, see what I have in my summer fabrics, and put away any that's really winter. I don't have a huge stash right now because I'm trying to swap away from my polyester obsession, and I had a lot of that, and I'm going to kind of pick through my poly collection and see what I want to keep and what I want to give away, and I just haven't decided yet. So right now it's all on the table. Someone's dinging me. Who's dinging me? Got to answer that. Kids are coming over. I got to get this video done in time for kids to come over. So that was the behind the scenes. Now you've seen it. And it doesn't get a whole lot worse than that unless there's just like multiple supplies that I'm pulling down and putting back. And that happened last week when I made something with my granddaughter. We made a little pillow, and I'm going to have the stuffing box down, the trim box down. So we were up and down in that closet, and all of that had to get put away. So it was way messier than this time. Oh, I had all my little fabric quarters that are in a box down there in the closet and my collection, and you've seen that. I think I'll show it again, but that was a mini tour messy. Now let's get to the top. This is the Vivace, that's how I decided to say it, from Love Notions, and I'm not wearing it because I wanted to hold it up and talk about it. And I'm gonna say things I liked and things I didn't like, and I want to start by saying I'm naturally a positive person. I mean, definitely I'm a worrywart, and, you know, I stress about things for sure, but I like being happy and I like being nice. And being nice is important to me. So if I say something negative, I don't feel good about that. And I don't want to say anything negative about this top, because somebody worked really hard to design it, produce it, and I do not want to be a negative Nelly on any of it because they worked so hard. And I know what that's like. I'm wearing my own creation, my own pattern, my hoodie hugs right now. And I was very blessed to not receive a whole lot of negative comments, practically none that I can even think of. And since I'm super thin-skinned, shouldn't even be on YouTube, I wouldn't be able to take it. So I'm prefacing that I had a lot of issues with this top that I didn't end up being happy with. And so I'm just going to share with you what I like and what I didn't like and why. And then I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? So this is the Vivace, and we talked about it last week. I love this neckline. It was complicated, and without lifting pins and needles, thank you to Karina, I would have not probably been able to accomplish it as nicely as I did. And so that turned out. So that really motivated me to finish the top. So the very first time I tried it on in Fit Check, I thought it was voluminous, and I'm not a fan of that. So I'm an apple body shape, which means, if you don't know, I'm slimmer in the hips and legs, always have been, but I carry extra weight, and I have extra weight in my bust and my tummy and just upper body. So one of the things fashion-wise that I'd like to avoid is having a big body on skinny legs. So when you wear a tenty top or a tenty dress, that's what you get, especially with the bust, because the bust holds everything out. This top is very much a tenty top. It's very voluminous. And I struggle with that look. I don't like it. I want things to fit right in here because it sort of just slims you down a little. Not that I'm all about looking slim, because I don't think I am, but I'm not about looking bigger than I am either. And this top did that. It made me look bigger than I am. I'm okay with what I am. I'm not okay with even bigger. So I want to show you some of my, I made a lot of videos thinking, this is it, I fixed it, this is it. The hem was uneven, and I think this fabric slinky, and bodies are not even. So when I laid it down, did I cut it crooked? You know, like, was that the problem? I laid it on my pattern piece? No, it was cut correctly. So I don't know why that hem was just not great on me. It just, probably my body. And so I thought putting some trim on the bottom would fix that. And in the end, I took the trim off. I'm going to save it. I don't know if I love this top enough to give it the trim. So the top's going to go in my closet, and we'll see if I wear it. Here's some little clips of the struggle. Ready? Okay, so here's the finished top. It's hemmed. And here's my issue with it. It's just, once it's on, the hem just seems uneven. Well, now that I'm looking at it, it's not too bad. But when you go to the side, it goes up in the front, down on the hip, up in the back. It also might be just a tiny bit short to me to cover my bum. I mean, I like the top part of it with the cool little crisscross there and the extra little, I don't know how I feel about that. But here's what I was thinking. What if I put a tiny bit of crochet hem? It'll weight it down a little and give it some interest and kind of take away from that uneven hemness. I'm going to pin it on, see what it looks like, and then maybe it'll be the, don't you love this little crocheted? I tried black, this just looked prettier. Well, I think I like the fringe on it. This top does slide around a little, so that's probably part of why the hem seems uneven. But I like the fringe. It kind of gives it more of like a flowy, drapey feel. It doesn't solve all the issues I feel about the hem. And I feel like it's a little bit maternity. I'm kind of a fan of things that fit right in here because I feel like they're more flattering. So when they just flow out like this, I feel like it's just not as flattering. But this fabric does hang really nicely, drape really nicely. And I think this fringe makes it better. Gives a little more interest, a little more flowy. I'm going to attach this and call this top done. I hope you agree, because it's happening. You know, I still don't like it. But if it had a little gather in the back, then I would like it a lot. You remember those, we used to have these like little jacket clips. It was like about that long, and it had a clip and a clip, and you would just take your jacket and you would just clip it. That's what this needs. Now what would happen back here? It would have a little gather spot. I'm thinking of just putting a tiny piece of elastic and just cinching it up. I'm going to pin it. And then I think I would like it a lot more. It's just this part that I don't like, which is the design of it. But it's too balloony when you hold your arms out. I'm going to try it and test it and see what happens. Well, I've completely ruined the design of this top, but I took it in from the arm down to here by 3 inches on both sides. And I still have the gathering in the back. I'll turn and show you. It still droops on this side. It doesn't droop on this side. So I don't know if I could straighten that out when I fix this hem, because this is all just basted. But I'm inclined to keep it this way as opposed to go back to the voluminous top. I just don't think that's for me. So I don't think I'll make this pattern again unless I change my, I don't think I'll make this pattern again. I don't like it. I don't even know if I'll wear this. Honestly, I feel like tossing it in the garbage. So I'm going to show you what I ended up with, and this is what I will actually wear. Okay, you ready? All right, this is the finished product. And sometimes when I make the video to show you, I decide whether I like it or not. And so if you haven't ever tried that, maybe make a little video of your project. If you have a tripod or a friend who can hold the camera, it does help to see it on you. And you can't always see all of that in a mirror. So I took out the gathering in the back. It's just the only change I really made was I cut off a lot of the sides. And I think if I did make this again, I would just true it up to my sleeve. The sleeve does not need to be any smaller. So I would just kind of true it up there because it might be a little wonky right where I started shrinking, but I think I fixed that. As I'm looking at it now, I kind of like it. So ignore that garbage comment I made in the last video. This fabric's so pretty, isn't it? And it flows nicely. It covers. I wish it was just right there. I might make it a high-low and just cover the bum a little, but if I wore this, I'd probably have a jacket on anyways, because I'm a jacket person. So that's it. By the way, this is a camera trick. So hands on hips usually would be right here. That's kind of, if I said hands on hips, you would put it right here. But if you just start right here and just slide your hands, I've got my thumbs hooked on my hips, but I'm not quite all the way back here. I'm kind of just right here, and it's just slimming. Camera trick. It's when I pose people for photography. This is one of my favorite poses because everybody looks good with this. And honestly, for sewing, it shows the whole thing. A little space there so you can see the whole sleeve. And so next time someone says pose for the camera, it's one hip. See that hip? And this leg's relaxed, and then slide your fingers back and just natural. It won't work if you go too far. It still has to be on your hips. Okay, back to the video. So here's what I did. I probably showed you a couple of times. It just needed to be smaller. And I mean, standing in the mirror, if I grabbed it from behind and just slimmed it down, it looked better to me. But that isn't the design. Although, if you look at this picture, it doesn't look super tenty in this picture. So I'm wondering if the sizing was the problem. So I'm just going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to get the numbers here, and I'll come right back. I'm going to tell you my numbers. We did the behind the scenes of the messy sewing room, so here's my body. I'm going to share it all. My bust is 47. My waist is 44.5. So looking at the measurement chart, it basically puts me at 3X. There's no other way around it. Even the 3X, let's see, the waist is 41 in the 3X. So the waist doesn't get big enough for me until the 4X. Now I cut out the 3X, the 2X, and the XL because normally I like the XL neck and shoulders. I've learned that it just fits me better if I go with the neck in the smaller size. So I did the neck XL, and then when I started cutting from here down, I did the 2X because I cut the 3X, tried it on, too big. So I did the 2X. You know what? It was huge. So let's look at this. And I love that Love Notions tells you finished measurements, because I did the standard bust because I started with the full bust and it was just so big. So I did the standard bust 2X. Standard bust 2X is 52.5 finished. So just take your tape measure and go to 52.5 is right, 52 and a half is right there. So that's how much extra I have. See it? I mean, that's not terrible, but that's a lot. And with the pull-on woven, you probably need that. So the waist, let's see what the waist is. For the 2X is 53.5. So the waist is this much extra. So that's where I struggled. And you've got this point where you can't make it so small you can't pull it over your head and put it on. And this fabric's really forgiving because it's a little crinkly. It's a little bit of a gauzy kind of fabric. So what I did is I just pulled it in like with my hands, and I measured how much I liked it pulled in, and I took out this much on the sides. Okay, so this much. So this much on the front and the back. On the front and the back. That means this times 4. That was a lot to take in. And at that point I took off the trim on the hem, took in the sides, finished it, re-hemmed it, and I'm going to put it in my closet and we'll see if I wear it. It just slimmed the whole thing down so much that I think I kind of like it. I like this fabric so much. I'll forgive a lot just to wear this fabric. It's gorgeous. And it flows nicely, and I don't think I needed that trim. I love that trim and it's super cute. I'll put it on something else. But that's where I ended up with. So will I make this again? Don't know. The answer is no, because I struggled and I was mad at it, and I was just mad at this top. I was just like ready to just like throw it in the garbage and say forget it. Were it not for the video I wanted to put out today, I was just like forget it, throw it away. But I'm kind of glad that I had to force myself to think it through and finish this top, because I might actually like it. And I never know. You know, sometimes your least favorite thing becomes your favorite thing. I never know. It's lightweight, it's flowy, it's different. I wear a lot of the same things over and over. And so it might be something that I pull for often. And if that happens, yes, I would remake it. But I would fix my pattern to include this reduction, which I don't even know how to fit that to a size. I don't think it would, because it didn't get smaller right here. It only got smaller from here down. So that's an A-body thing. If you're an apple body, you kind of probably know what I'm talking about. But not a fan of the tent style clothes. I have a couple of things that are super flowy, and they're just rare in my wardrobe. I'm not a super fan of that. I'm really a fan of, my favorite shape for my apple body is slim here and down, like leggings and a t-shirt and a jacket. And that's my uniform. And I'm good to go. So, you know, I like to be comfortable, so I don't love a lot of woven. I don't know about my woven journey, if it's even going to continue. It's just that the wovens have so many more options and colors and patterns, which I love the prints. So, still thinking about if I had some super faves for tops, dresses, for woven that I could make over and over, I'd be so happy. So happy. So I'm still watching some of my favorite content creators to see what they're making. And one of these days, it's going to be one. And this might be it. So no shade to Love Notions and their creation, because there's a lot to say that's really great about this pattern. It just, I struggled with my own shape, which is not their problem. But I'd love to see this in a dress, if I could slim that down and still pull it over my head. Okay, so that's my sewing. What's my next project? It has to be something I know I will like, because I'm still mad about this top. I want to make something I can wear in warmer weather, because we're having some coming up, and I want to start sewing for spring and summer. So how are you? So this is gonna switch over this portion. This is like the midway to talk about just whatever's on my mind, because I can't hear you, so I don't know what's on your mind, but I love hearing what's on your mind in the comments. What's on my mind is the garden. That's pretty much what's on my mind. Is it on yours? Because if you garden at all, it's got to be, right? It's that time of year. And we have had the crazy spring. I talked about how crazy our weather is here, but I think it's crazy everywhere. I think we all say that. But I have these beautiful daffodils out here. You saw it in my video. They all fell down with the snow and the rain that we had like 3 days ago. And I want to show you a video of that. And then I want to take you through a tour of today because it's a beautiful sunny day, and kind of take you down my garden and what I'm planning. We got a tree for my birthday. It's a tulip tree, like magnolia tulip tree. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's not planted yet. Hubby's busy, but it will get planted in the next couple of days, and give it a few years. It'll be gorgeous. And this is going to be the year of trees for us. We're going to get some fruit trees, flowering trees, and just that's where I want to put my effort and have that sort of mature in the next few years that I can enjoy it. So that's my plan. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. So I don't really have anything else to say. I really just so appreciate you being here and hanging out with me. Thank you. So I'm going to go get my grandkids and bring them over here, and we're going to play while Mama and Dada go on a date. An overnight date. Well, for us it's overnight. For them, they're going home. No, they're staying out of town. So yeah, fun times for everybody. They get to have a date. I get to have a date. Hubby's working. It's just me. I kept telling him, now don't get excited. Grandpa won't be here. He's the fun one. And they didn't say, oh, but it was kind of close to that. But I'll try to make it fun. And we'll have a good time. And, you know, I need some time alone with them. That's nice, right? So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my channel. I hope you had fun looking at my dirty laundry. We'll call it that. You have an awesome weekend. Enjoy the weather. Spring is here. Let's enjoy it. And I'll see you next time. Bye now. Well, this garden needs a clean out for sure. It's got a lot that needs to be cleaned out. This is a gift I got from my sister-in-law for my birthday, and hubby wants to plant that out at the greenhouse. Lots of tulips that didn't bloom. They just didn't bloom. Not tulips. Sorry, daffodils that didn't bloom. There's no tulips in here. This is going to be an amazing daisies. So over here, this garden's just waking up, but we'll have to go through and kind of clean it up a little. And I'll show you my daffodils that fell down. My granddaughter wanted to pick these so bad, so I'm going to let her pick the broken ones and put them in a vase. Won't she enjoy that? Do you hear the birds? It's so pretty. Okay. So I'm going to show you the view to the greenhouse on Tuesday, and then I'm going to show you the greenhouse today, and just you can compare. What a beautiful day. The birds are singing. Got some weeding to do on my little path. You see all these tulips? They're gonna bloom. It's gonna be amazing. Look at all these sweet little wildflowers down here. Aren't they pretty? I threw out a bunch of seeds right there. They came up. Looks different than Tuesday when it was snowing. Look at all these tulips that are gonna bloom. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. So I gotta clean out the greenhouse, got some things to plant, and I'll show you that next time. It's gonna be great. Spring is here.